Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. So, as we know, in the last few classes, we were discussing about autism and we are looking at the basic concepts of autism. And we have already covered at least three or four, five parts regarding the basics. And in the last class, we are discussing about the approach towards autism. So, in that approach, we have completed first part, and today we will have the second part of the approach towards autism. So when we talk about approach towards autism, along with the main symptoms which I have discussed in the last class, for example, so these are the points that you have seen in the last class, like development, speech, behavior, abnormal hearing and vision, then scholastic performances and achievements, hyperactivity and hypoactivity, and some other comorbid manifestations. So today we'll continue the same. You have to also look into some of the other symptoms continuously. Okay, that means parents, or it may be teachers, or it may be the caretakers. So they need to watch some of the symptoms continually to understand whether the child is going towards autism or not. So what are such symptoms? Number one is you have to look into the fact that whether the child is avoiding eye contact. And this is very important thing, because this is one of the social developmental milestone, and a child is avoiding the eye contact. Okay, social smile is also not properly developed, and the child is very poor in the social activities, and at least he is not able to fix the gaze, and also he is not giving the eye contact. So this is one of the very important clue to identify the autism at the earliest. Number two, you have to look into the other fact that whether he want to avoid the people. That means he is very uncomfortable when there is three or four people, or he is uncomfortable with the mother. But if you keep the baby alone, he is playing by its own and he is very, very comfortable. When the child is doing this particular behavior or attitude continuously, then this also should be watched, and this is one of the very important clue. Second one is you have to look into the other fact, like trouble in understanding the other people's feeling or talking about own feeling. Now, this is very important. Whether child is facing any problem or trouble in understanding what other people are saying, or what other people are conveying, or what other people are giving commands, and whether the child is able to understand this, or whether he is not understanding, or he has got any problem in understanding. So this point has to be completely continuously watched. Another is you have to see that whether the child is talking about his own feeling. That means child is not responding for your commands or your talk or your communication, but child is only talking by himself. His own feeling he is expressing, but he is not giving any reciprocal reaction to your feeling or your commands. So this is also one of the very important point that has to be watched. Similarly, one more important thing that you have to see is delayed speech and language skills. Now, whether child is showing the delayed speech is there, but it is quite delayed. Now, we expect that by 1.5 years, at least child is able to join two words, Papa gaya, Mummy aya, like this. At least he should be able to join two words. Okay, and whether he is, although there is delayed skill, some conditions there will be delayed skill, and all such delayed skill cases are not autism at all. But as we are going for approach screening for the autism, we have to look into this symptom also. Whenever the child has got the delayed speech, always you have to keep in mind that autism may be one of the problem. Okay, also delayed speech and delayed language skills has to be taken seriously. Then important is you have to look into the fact that whether he is doing some repeated movements like clapping up the hands or rocking or spinning the circles, etc. Continuously he is doing some this type of spinning type of activities, or clapping his own body parts, or rocking movements. So these movements to some extent it is okay, but when child is continuously around the clock, round the day and around the year, when the child is doing these activities, definitely it indicates towards the repetitive nature or intense towards the sameness. So this has to be also taken seriously. Now, another thing that you have to look into is unusual reaction to the way the things sound, taste, etc. That means you have to look into the unusual reactions to the way the things are going on. That means, so how he is responding for the sound, how he is responding for the taste, how he is responding for the touch sensation, and this has to be also watched, because we know that in case of autism there will be some sensory problem, sensory blockage will be there, so he may not give expected reactions to such things. So this has to be also, suppose you are giving a sore thing to the child and child is not feeling so much of sore, and as normally he is eating it or consuming it, may give some doubt regarding the autism. Another is, suppose you are asking the child to something and child is giving some unrelated answers. Okay, so you are asking what is your name and child is telling something else which is not understood by you. Okay, that means child is living his own world. He's nothing to do with your questions. That suggests that. Again, this is also a sensory, indicate the sensory cutoff of the child. Then obsessive interest. Obsessive interest in the sense, the child has developing some interest which looks very unusual. That means he may be sitting in a one particular position. He may be always doing the same thing. Okay, or he is always comfortable with the same type of environment, otherwise he is irritable. So these are all the obsessive interest. Okay, pulling the hairs or always rocking the body or clapping the fingers, etc. They looks like unusual interest, that we call as obsessive interest. One more important thing is echolalia. Echolalia means repetition of the word. When child is repetition of the words, he is telling the same thing continuously. Okay, suppose okay. So suppose a word is there, okay. Now a child is continuously telling the same, okay. So like this, child is continuously telling the same word because he knows that only. Therefore, he is actually conveying many things through that particular word. But for a listener, it looks like very abnormal, and this condition is called as echolalia. And this echolalia is also one of the very important thing that one must have to watch for the early detection of the autism. And so these are some of the important aspects in the approach. Now in the next class we will go for the diagnosis. In the diagnosis again we will see so many things, and till then, goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and also please give your valuable comments. We will meet again in another class. Thank you very much.